I'm now joined by Frederic Hauge of the Bellona Foundation. Welcome, Frederic.
Thank you.
Tell me a bit about your foundation.
Bellona is a Norwegian-based foundation working with all kinds of environmental issues, very much from pollution to the energy aspects. We work in Norway. We are large in Russia, where we work with a lot of different pollution, among that nuclear waste from military sources. We are based in Brussels and in US.
Now, you told me earlier, I find this fascinating, you actually started your foundation at 16 years of age, is that right?
Yeah, that's true. Then
okay.
I started full-time on environmental issues, and that time it was a question about pointing at the problems. Today it's a question about finding the right solutions.
What's your current focus?
I think we all need to focus on the need to combat global warming and poverty, and how we could combine this. And since I'm coming from a rich country like Norway, I used to call it a nice country of petroholics. It's extremely important for us to look at the energy aspects, which we have done. We have been working with carbon capture and storage for many years as one of the solutions. We work with renewable, and we also work a lot now to find the right way to combine the work to create enough energy and combat poverty with some new ideas.
Now, as a pioneer in this field, you've been in it for many years. What do you see as the main challenge in achieving a low-carbon world?
I think it's definitely a question about how we're going to produce enough food and energy, and I think also the water problem is heavily underestimated in the scenarios. And in a situation where we have 4 billion people that needs a job or at least an increased income, we need to see how we could create green jobs, not digging for coal, but for example produce biomass in new types and with new strategies.
Well, leads me on to one of the projects you're currently working on, the Sahara Forest Project. Tell me about that.
Now, in our foundation, we think that there is enough people thinking small thoughts about climate change, so we wanted to think some big ones. And we carried out some heavy scientific work a couple of years ago in a scenario where we called it How to Combat Global Warming, which was a 85% reduction, and how that could be done. It's a
85% by when?
That needs to be done before 2050.
Okay.
And what we saw was that there were very few other scenarios. We needed to make use of carbon capture and storage, but even that was not enough, and we wanted then to see how we could combine carbon capture and storage with bio, because we think there is a need to create strategies that is not blocking for going carbon negative. But then the big problem is, and it's very divided science on what biomass could do to combat global warming. We have for the last 4 or 5 years been heavily into working with new kind of biomass like algae, and also a plant called halibut, which is very interesting. And instead of using the fresh water for growing biomass, we have been then in particular looking for what kind of vegetation we can grow in salt water.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Frederic. We really enjoyed hearing about your greenhouse project. Sounds innovative, and for your attendance here at the Governors Summit.
Thank you.
Thanks.